Shaunaka Rishi to Sutta Goswami, right? Sutta Goswami tells that. Sukadeva Goswami also says that. Because these things is so auspicious, cannot be measured or quantified. It is so auspicious for everybody. The whole planet actually benefits. Just like we are doing Bhagavatam here, so many places in the world they are doing Bhagavatam. So much auspiciousness is benefited for the people in this world because we want to do the right thing. And therefore we want to give blessings for other people also. So for the good of others. Right? So he presented with the law, the four Kumaras, he's presenting like a person who doesn't know, but he knows. So why is he asking? He wants to hear. Exactly. Hearing is important. It doesn't matter even if you know. Remember what he said previously? I want a million years. And he wants to hear from pure devotee also. Because you cannot say you heard it once and that's it. That means you still have material contamination. But if you can continuously hear and keep on hearing, then you are getting the blessings of the Lord and the taste. Then you know, yes. Of course, when you get the taste, you're not going to think I got the taste. You'll just go to hear. So they are very happy. You know everything, still you're asking. And they are happy because they also want to speak about the Supreme Lord. They also want to glorify. Right? Most of the time we don't do that. No? When we see someone else, some other devotee, we don't want to glorify the Lord. Right? Or even a devotee, we just, something will talk, right? So that's different because we don't have taste here. Yeah. So that is why when sadhus come, you should ask them questions. Even though you know, you should ask. It doesn't matter. Sometimes you may ask a simple question and you are afraid, everyone will think I don't know this. And people will think also, why is asking that? It's so simple question. But sometimes it's good to hear. It doesn't matter your position. So what? Let others think you are fallen. In fact, we are fallen. So it's okay to ask. It's okay to ask. And sometimes the person who's answering will think, why you don't know all this? But it's nothing wrong. Because it's a benefit for people, again to hear also, it's good for us, it's also good for anyone who's new, and they also will benefit. Yeah, so Prabhupada says great personalities like Prithu Maharaj put themselves in this position to help others. Because who else is going to ask for on behalf of others? This is the greatness of Prithu Maharaj. He is caring for others. Okay. Text 19. Sangama kalu sadhunam Vayesham cha sammataha Sambhasana samprashna Sarvesham vitanotisam. When there is a congregation of devotees, their discussions, questions and answers become conclusive to both the speaker and the audience. Thus, such a meeting is beneficial for everyone's real happiness. Real happiness, sham, real happiness. It's not talking about just being happy, it's a good meeting we had, or good gathering. It's talking about real happiness. That means it touches the heart of the soul. So therefore Prabhupada was saying, Sankirtan is good, when we gather together to speak or hear about the Lord, it becomes very powerful. Because the Lord says, I'm not with the person who says he's my devotee, right? I'm with the devotee who says he's a devotee of my devotees. So therefore, when we sit down to discuss, the Lord is in that gathering, that Sangha. Prabhupada then writes about his Bhagavad Gita. He says the Bhagavad Gita has been well known all over the world for a very long time, especially in the Western world. But because the subject matter was not discussed by devotees, there was no effect. Not a single person in the West became Krishna conscious before the Krishna consciousness movement was founded. But when the same Bhagavad Gita was presented as it is through the disciplic succession, the effect of spiritual realization was immediately manifested. He never claimed anything. He's so humble. So, and also Sanana Kumara is also very humble also. He says it's benefiting them also with such meeting of great minds, birds of feathers. So similarly we know from the second canto, Narad Muni asked Lord Brahma about Krishna, right? And Brahma also thanked Narad Muni for giving him a chance to speak. Similarly also Sutta Goswami thanks Shavanaka Rishi and then for giving him the opportunities to speak. Like that. And Shukadeva Goswami also was very happy when Parikshit, because it's an opportunity to glorify the Lord. It's always great. So whenever you see two saintly persons asking one another about the Supreme Lord, then everything becomes auspicious, Shubha. And then whoever sits there and listens, they get the benefit. Similarly, when Uddhava was speaking to Krishna, Maitreya Rishi was there, even though he wasn't invited. The Prabhupada says, due to Sukriti, he got the benefit and he became pure devotee. So similarly, when we listen with the right mood and attention, we will get the purification. It has to happen, because this is an auspicious thing. So how can it not manifest? If you take the medicine, it must cure you. How can it not cure you? Right? Unless we are like the elephants. Okay? So we have to see what is it that is hindering my progress. Not worry about the external. The external situation will always remain. You cannot change it. No one can change it. Only Krishna can. So therefore you have to see what is internally I am doing wrong. And then help one another. You know, Prabhu, I am doing this so many years, I am still not getting this. Then you say, okay, what are you doing? Let's sit down. Oh wow, you do that. I am also not doing that. And then you find out, okay, there's one mistake. Okay, let's go back and do this. Oh, Prabhu, I'm now not going to getting up morning, but I try and rush through chanting. Oh, that's your problem. You have to 1 hour, get out half an hour earlier, then maybe you're more peaceful in your heart. You can chant nicely. Oh, okay, good idea. Like that. Always one has to come together to help one another. Not that you go in your room, you study all the Shastra, and then one day you come out floating, you know. It doesn't manifest like that. I've yet to see that, but never manifest like that. It's only when you get together, go on Harinam, Sankirtan, book distribution, you get slowly. It's like the doctor who wanted to cure this man who was throwing up. Whatever he ate, throw up. Whatever water he drank, throw up. So the Ayurvedic doctor said, gave him ghee. So they say, but he can't eat. He just give this medicated ghee special. So he took, he threw it up. So they kept telling the, he said, no man, just keep giving. So after 1 week, the man gained strength. And then his throwing up stopped a little bit. So after about a month of taking that, he became very strong. So they asked, how is that possible? Then he explained. Every time he took the ghee and then he threw out, a little bit stuck in his system and it got absorbed by the body and then cured little bit. And then progressively over the entire month he became completely cured or cured to some extent. So the same way, you know, we have to practice properly. It's not a question of I did it already. Where's the question you did it? You did it means you should be back in Vaikuntha or Goloka. Nobody. We are practicing. We are all defective. Right? 4 defects are there. So obvious. So therefore, doing it properly is very important. Yeah, that's confirmation.
Yeah.
Recon.
Yeah, so make it auspicious for yourself. No one can do it except yourself. When you see it's an opportunity to go and associate nicely, hear some nice katha, whether it's in Mayapur or it's at the temple, just do it. Go and do it. Don't worry about externalities. It will always be there. Right? If you are in a war zone, it's always going to be some bomb falling in there. So this material world is in a sense a war zone. You can't stop it. So you should just go and do your darshan and take advantage of the opportunities that Krishna creates for us. You may say, why Krishna is not taking care of my situation? But he's actually creating so much wonderful opportunities. So you have to think like that. Right? So try to participate in discussions about Krishna with devotees, like that. Everybody benefits. It's a win-win situation. Right? No one should consider that, if I tell them I studied this and I found an amazing pastime, I'm not going to tell them, I'm going to save it for one nice festival like that. Who is going to benefit? You should share it, then it becomes more relishable. It is like that. The more you speak about it, the more you understand the essence of it. It's true. And who knows, by the time the special festival comes, you may not be the speaker. Right? Text 20. Astyeva rajan bhavato madhudvisha.
Astyeva rajan bhavato madhudvisha.
Padaravindasya gunanuvadane.
Padaravindasya gunanuvadane.
Natirdurapa vidunoti naistiki.
Natirdurapa vidunoti naistiki.
Kama kasayam malamantar atmana.
Kama kasayam malamantar atmana.
Sanat Kumara continued. My dear king, you already have an inclination to glorify the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such attachment is very difficult to achieve, but when one has attained such unflinching faith in the Lord, it automatically cleanses lusty desires from the core of the heart. So much in this verse, no? So much important thing.
Yeah.
So there's things. Inclination to glorify the Lord. How much do we have? How much we do? If you don't have, then you should practice every day. Go to the deities, stand in front, chant some prayers. Right? You have to do that. When are you going to do? Most of the time they'll say, oh Lord, you know what is in my heart, okay? Right? Oh, Haribol, hey, Haribol. Right? Actually, you're supposed to learn to glorify. All the prayers are there. We go in front, chant the prayers. First time you will want to chant properly. Second time you will chant more. Then by a few number of months you will know the verses. Then you have to know what the meaning of the verses is. Then as you chant, then you realize, I'm a fool. Why am I stuck in this world? Because it automatically cleanses those things. The more you chant, that's what Prabhupada writes in the translation. Automatically cleanses lusty desires. So you must be reducing in those lusty thoughts. Accumulating stuff, getting more, all those are lusty desires. And then if you don't have those kind of feelings, then you know, it's working. At least you will understand. So, best way is to be with devotees. Somehow or other, devotees association, you will be cleansed. Right? They will chastise you, the way the devotees say, hey, what are you doing there? Hey, get out! All your ego, everything gone, parapat. So the Lord is with the devotees, He will help you. Prabhupada says, as silver becomes shiny by being polished, the heart of a materialistic person is cleansed by lusty desires, by good association of devotees. So the Lord will help us clean. You don't have to worry. If you are sincere, He'll clean. He'll get all the cleaners and He'll come to clean you. Still, we have to see how Prithu Maharaj is wanting to be cleansed, even though he is already so pure. Okay? But of course, here they say you won't fall down because you are already a pure devotee. So what it means is, no matter what our situation, we should always chant the holy name. Okay? No matter what your position is, whether you're doing great or not, you should chant. Because it is the very means and it is also the end also. And even in the spiritual world, you still be chanting the glories of the Lord. Right? You look at the pastimes of the gopis, and what are they doing? The cowherd ladies, the cowherd men, what are they doing all the time? Talking about Krishna, glorifying about Krishna. That's all. So it's the same thing. When you're chanting the holy name, you're glorifying Krishna. Srimati Radharani, Krishna, His energies, His entourage, everything. Right? So when we chant, we thank the Lord, and then we say, engage me so that I can serve you nicely. Like that. You can't get to Krishna any other way. No other way, no promotion, there's no particular school where they'll guarantee. No, it's only in Krishna consciousness. In ISKCON only we can assure you that you can go back to Godhead. Okay, who else can tell like that? So the Prabhupada said we can go back in this very life. Who else has said that? In any other place you go, they'll never say that. Right? Nobody can say that. Assure us that. So the process works. It works. It's a tried and true method, this. And tested. Yeah. Text 21. Sastre Shriyan eva sunishito nirnam.
Sastre Shriyan eva sunishito nirnam.
Shemasya sadriyat vim visheshu hetuhu.
Shemasya sadriyat vim visheshu hetuhu.
Asanga atma vyatirikta atmani.
Asanga atma vyatirikta atmani.
Dridharati brahmani nirgune chaya.
Dridharati brahmani nirgune chaya.
It has been conclusively decided in the scriptures after due consideration that the ultimate goal for the welfare of human society is detachment from the bodily concept of life and increased and steadfast attachment for the Supreme Lord who is transcendental beyond the modes of material nature. You have to get the taste. Okay? You have to get the taste to come to this position. You want to get detached from family life, or you must get a taste. You must. You all have to think about it. How I'm going to get this taste so that I do not get attached to this material world. Somehow you all have to pray. Okay? Pray to your spiritual master, tell him, my dear Guru Maharaj, I want to get this taste. You please bless me. You please kindly pray for me. I want this taste. Like that. You must show the interest. Then your Guru Maharaj may test you and then he'll give you the blessings. We have the process, and then you'll be doing it, and still if you cannot give up certain things, then you need the mercy. Right? So therefore we should increase this attachment and decrease the material attachment. Jnanam asu vairagyam ahaitukam. But we can't come to the position of ahaitukam. Right? Why? No taste. Why? Material taste. Why can't give up? Attachment, no good association. So therefore you need some mercy also. Either you take it to yourself and go out and preach very extensively, or you serve nicely, or you pray. Cannot just remain in your position forever, Doesn't work. After a while you must come, your intelligence must come to a certain point and say, why am I still here? Why am I not making that progress? We've already gone through, as Prabhupada says, 8.4 million species of life. So you don't want to go through that again. So, daily practice, you have to see how you can become more attached to Krishna. Like that. Like if every day you play your harmonium for Gonitai, you become expert. Like that. Because they have become pleased, oh, Radha is chanting for me. It works like that. You find, any devotee is doing the same activity in temple, they become expert in it after a while. Because they are sincerely doing it, they get the blessings. I remember one devotee used to write shloka, horrible writing. But after 1 year, the handwriting is so beautiful. Or at least nice. Huh? Readable. Even better than normal writing. Very nice.
Cursive? Or
English
writing or cursive?
English, proper, straight writing. Yeah. You can do that also. Every day you write Krishna's name, then your handwriting becomes beautiful. Because Krishna is all beautiful, right? So we have to increase. If you don't increase attachment to Krishna, then you must, by nature we are tatastha, so we are going to go for matter. So we have to stop that and have a hiatus. Paramdrishya. It's very important. So you can see in the pastime of even Vishwamitra and all, right? Because they didn't have the higher taste, he fell down a few times until he finally positioned himself as Brahman platform. Then he didn't fall down. Okay. So somehow or other we have to find taste, and when you get it, you share it. Don't be a miser. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu caught hold of Raghunath Das Goswami and say, why are you a miser eating by yourself? Share it. And when he went to Texas, he's just eating the dry rice. But that's what he means, share it. Share it with everybody. Yeah, so we should do that, somehow. And always be loving to one another. It's very important if you can practice that. Even no matter how much difficulties you should always be loving to one another. Then you can increase your faith in the process. Text 22. Shashraya Bhagavad Dharmacharya
Shashraya Bhagavad Dharmacharya
Jignasayadhyatmika Yoga Nishtaya
Jignasayadhyatmika Yoga Nishtaya
Yogeshwaropasanaya cha nityam
Yogeshwaropasanaya cha nityam
Punya Shrava Kataya Punyaya Cha.
Punyashravakataya punyaya cha.
Attachment for the Supreme can be increased by practicing devotional service, inquiring about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, applying Bhakti Yoga in life, worshipping the Yogeshwara, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and by hearing and chanting about the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. These actions are pious in themselves. Here pious means, if you don't, there's two ways to see it. One is, this pious means is transcendental. The other pious means if you don't really pray for that, still it's pious. Still it's good. So here you can see attachment for Krishna is by increased practice. You cannot say, oh, I'm doing, that's good enough. It means you have to somehow increase every year. 1%, 2% every year. Right? Then applying it in your life means not just to yourself, your family, whoever you meet, somehow or other touch them with Krishna consciousness. Give them a flower garland from the temple, or flower offered to Krishna, just like that. Daily worshipping. Then of course hearing and chanting, which I have been mentioning. All of you have to start hearing a lot more. Prabhupada's classes, and then chant. Chant more rounds in festival days, or appearance days, or even during Kartik, vows like chanting more is like that. Okay? So it become very, very useful. Service to the devotees, all these are devotional practices. So by serving devotees, automatically you get elevated in your Krishna consciousness. Okay? Prabhupada says the conclusion is, after he has explained very nicely, conclusion is that to increase attachment for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one has to accept a bona fide spiritual master and learn from him the methods of devotional service, and hear from him about the transcendental message and glorification of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this way, one has to increase his conviction about devotional service. Then it will be very easy to increase attachment for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? You have to do that. Always do that. Text 23. Adendriyarama sagosti atvishnaya.
Adendriyarama sagoshtaya trishnaya.
Tatsammatanam aparigrahena cha.
Tatsammatanam aparigrahena cha.
Viviktaruchya paritosha atmani.
Viviktaruchya paritosha atmani.
Vinahare guna piyushapana.
Vinahare guna piyushapana.
One has to make progress in spiritual life by not associating with persons who are simply interested in sense gratification and making money. Not only such persons, but one who associates with such persons should be avoided. One should mold his life in such a way that he cannot live in peace without drinking the nectar of the glorification of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari. One can be thus elevated by being disgusted with the taste for sense enjoyment. By not associating with persons who are simply interested in sense. Now it may be difficult because in this, many of you have to work outside. What it means is don't become intimate with them. Right? Oftentimes you hear devotees will say, oh, my karmi friends are better than devotee friends. That means you are thinking of having more association with them. That is wrong, because they are not following principles. They're not following any culture. They're not worshipping Supreme Lord. So to think like that means you are actually covered. That means you've fallen actually, if you think like that. Nobody said associating with devotees is easy, right? Prabhupada never said that. He says the hardest actually. But you have to simply learn how to tolerate. Learn tolerate, how to be tolerant.
So why is it so that associating with devotees is not easy?
Well, it's like you go to a hospital, everybody is sick there, right? So similarly, you are sick, you tell the other guy why you are having this disease, he'll turn around and say, why you are having this disease?
But same should be true in the karmi world also. They are also sick.
Generally in karmi society, it's different, no? You are all paid and here it's all volunteers. The dynamics are all different, right? You're all working for something. And then, it is like that. They are always... it's interesting, sometimes I've heard things like that also. Sometimes even in karmi society, they seem to be more friendly or close, or they will go all out to help and stuff like that. But when it comes to devotees, they seem to be more restrictive, because over there the friendship comes through different ways. They experience different things, and then and when they are friendly with you, it's not based on
Krishna center.
Not because of that. They are more. They're not because of the money you gain over, but they gain a trust with you. Whereas in devotional life, you have to be honest from the beginning. And when we don't know how to associate with one another, we don't know how to be honest with one another. We become very frightened. Like for example, if someone says, I am suffering from this, that person is not confidential, right? The person will tell the whole community, the whole society, the whole world will know what your problem is. So then you lose trust.
Tell a devotee.
Huh?
Telephone, tell a devotee. That's the fastest way of communication.
Whatever, Whereas in a karmic society, they are more confidential like that, because of the etiquette and the way they deal with one another. So in outside society, they are afraid of if you do something, you are liable, this and that. So they are very confidential in those ways. They realize there's like a culture. Whereas in our ISKCON culture, it's still developing. We haven't come to the level of trust and exchange. Yeah.
I heard Prabhu related to this, like devotees have already given up an association with non-devotees, so we don't have much attachment in the relationships. So if a non-devotee does any harm, we don't feel the pain actually, because we don't have the...
Yeah, that is between devotee and non-devotee.
Yeah. So, but that's why, because we have to go through some karmic reactions, Krishna gives us through the devotees. When we get it through the devotees, we feel the pain pinches us.
Actually, through the devotee is more painful.
Yeah, exactly. So, because we have to go through that, and outside people, somebody does something to us, it doesn't matter to us anymore.
That's good.
So this is what I heard.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's a good answer. Yeah, that is good. Your karmic reaction you are going through, that is true also. But this is again, to accept that, you have to become mature. Very hard to accept. Takes a while, takes a long time. But the only way you can come to that purity level where you can accept things is if you are practicing nicely, first of all. If you are not practicing, then what your point is right, then your karma comes through different ways. Sometimes, Prabhupada, I believe Prabhupada says you dream about it. Okay, so the best is to have a bad dream and then the karma is over. Instead of experiencing it. But we have to go through that. The fastest way to get purified is with devotees. The hardest but the fastest. Yeah. It's like when you cook dal, right? When you boil dal, all the thing comes up, right? very fast, then you have to take out the thing on top. So that's the fastest way. It's like immediately you see all the reactions. What? That was another thing I was also, they say if you put all the, when if the devotees, we all come in as rough jewels, rough stones. But if you put all of them together and then you keep shaking and shaking, after a while everything becomes smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. I heard that like one person was complaining to another priest, and then he told him to carry these stones with him and don't open it. After many years later, then there was some incident, he said open it, and then he sees all the smoke. He said just like that. In the beginning it's rough, but after a while everything smoothens out.
So stay together. Even
Yeah, everything goes, you give up all this because you're attached to this, everything are rough edges in our body. So when you give up all those things, ultimately you have nothing to give up except Krishna to have. We give up all material things and Krishna is in our heart, so everything becomes smooth and all. And that's an interesting thing. Alright, we'll stop here and then I'll talk about it tomorrow.
Maybe pain comes because we don't welcome it. No, we are not ready for that purification.
No, you see, I agree with you, but the other thing is expectations.
Is that the right time?
We become, in a devotee association, we think and we expect, right, that everything must be perfect. But we are not. We are not perfect. And therefore, we react more strongly for another reason also. We know devotees don't fight back also. Devotees have to take humble positions. So sometimes we take that advantage also. And we fight like that. But it causes problems for everybody. It takes a long while to settle down. But dust eventually has to settle. Right? But the best dust is when you see Krishna coming back with the cows and the horizon and the cowherd man and woman looking, and they become so excited. That's why we should chant. that Renu, that dust is the best.
Saffron.
Saffron.
It's called Godhuli.
Godhuli?
Godhuli,
Godhuli, yeah, Godhuli. Father Duli of Godhuli. What was that? Raman Reddy. That's what Prabhupada put our Krishna Bhagavan, because that's where they go with the cow, that path, near the temple, Krishna Bhagavan. Yeah, it is, we are still growing, so we have a lot of growing pains to go through, our society as a whole. We are only 50 years old. But I think we will make the right choices. There may be a lot of cuts and scars, but we will come through nice. Right? Even a baby, when he touches a fire, he'll burn, but then he learns, I shouldn't touch these things. So we will learn. Right? So we'll continue tomorrow. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Brahmana.
Hari Hari.
See, many of the words you study in Canto 1 and Canto 2 is in these purports. Therefore, it's important for you all to go back and review what you memorized.